Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sports and Stuff. Today, Riley and I are shooting in beautiful Durham, North Carolina for the first time at my new apartment. What's up, Riley?
What's up, guys? We hit the new crib. Looks good. Adam contributed 0 to it looking good, but it looks great.
Hey, financial support and praise all around. That's where I roll in this relationship.
Shout out Layla.
Shout out Layla. She's at the gym right now, grinding. Proud of her for that. I think it's the first time she's ever gone to the gym. So.
Oh dang!
Nah,
I had
just
to
kidding.
roast her later.
Just kidding. We've gone to the gym together before. So.
Adam, why aren't you in the gym right now?
Because I'm a fat piece of shit.
Wow.
But I will tell you, I've been getting really into to beers lately.
Pretty much the gym.
Yeah, pretty much the gym. Doing 12-ounce curls every day, all day. Finding all sorts of craft beers. I guess I've always been into beer, but recently I've become a more Caucasian version of myself and gotten pretty into craft beers. So this episode is sponsored by, how do you pronounce that?
Line and Kugel.
Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. It's out of season now, but wait till summertime next year. Pick up your Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
And special thank you to global warming for extending the summer a little longer to keep drinking summer shandies into October.
Major shout out to global warming. It always comes in clutch. So
Anytime you're drinking your summer shandy,
just think.
wait, it's September. I can't drink it. It's not the summer anymore. Think again.
Think again. Thank you, global warming. So Riley, man, we've had a crazy first 2 weeks of the NFL season. I said some things about the AFC North and how it's going to play out.
I said some things too.
I think there are some statements that might need to be talked back a little bit. I think that there are other statements that need to be double, triple, quadrupled down on, and maybe new statements to be made.
Yeah, I would agree. My statement revolved around the Steelers, who have had a powerful start here to the NFL season. Came out Sunday night, first primetime game that really matters because Thursday night football doesn't matter that much. And you know what? They didn't do great.
They did not do the best.
However, they were playing the now juggernaut Patriots that I'm sure we'll talk about later. And, I was like, all right, well, that sucks. But next week, we got Seattle. If we win that game 1-1, feel a lot better. Well, we were playing pretty well. And our franchise quarterback of about, 12, 13 years, got his first ever season-ending injury. And now we have Mason Rudolph. We lost by 2. We're 0-2. And suddenly, AFC Championship looks a little bit of a stretch.
A small bit of a stretch. The Steelers went on to 2 days later make a just absolutely beautiful trade.
Especially given the circumstances.
Given that their franchise quarterback is hurt.
Not out for the season, potentially out for his career.
Correct. They are 0-2. And it looks like it's time for a rebuild in the Steel City.
Probably going to have a really high draft pick. It's going to be a really good. This next draft is going to be loaded with talent.
Loaded draft.
Loaded with talent. Really, the draft. If you're gonna be bad, you want to be bad this year.
Right.
So you really want to make sure that first round pick you have, you're using it wisely.
And this is a draft where Heisman winner Jalen Hurts and possibly soon to be 2-time Heisman winner Jalen Hurts will probably be the third or fourth quarterback taken in the draft.
Jalen Hurts, he won a Heisman freshman year.
Mm-hmm. He won a Heisman, I think.
Maybe.
Will you fact check me on that?
Yeah, I will.
Anyways,
keep going.
Jalen Hurts, regardless of his Heisman status, has been a phenomenal quarterback and is, I think, in my opinion, an athletic Tom Brady type. That is my very high opinion of Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
he's going to be the third or fourth, maybe fifth quarterback taken in this draft. And unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Steelers have Mason Rudolph at QB1. And so what they do with that potential quarterback pick or that potential defensive player pick that they so desperately need, they trade it away. They trade it for a albeit very, very good cornerback, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. But I don't get that move, Riley. I really don't.
Jalen Hurts didn't win the Heisman, but I think he's going to win this year.
Okay, was he the runner-up?
I don't know. I'd have to look at that again.
Okay, sorry.
But no, it's okay.
I could have sworn he won it, but you know what? You know better than me. So.
He should have. At least it's not listed on his Wikipedia. SEC Freshman of the Year, SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, they definitely would have Heisman.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, no, really, really stupid move by the Steelers. I mean, what did I text you? I texted you the day between like the trade. I said, #tank for Judy, Jerry Judy. People are saying best wide receiver since Julio to come out of college.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah, I mean he is the prototype of Julio, and he's projected right now as the number one prospect as a wide receiver,
which is unheard of.
And so prior to tanking for Tua is kind of like the what a lot of people say, but I wanted Judy regardless of my reasons for that. That's why I texted Adam after the Ben Roethlisberger injury. However, Steelers had a different mindset, and they went and got Minkah, which is a win-now move for...
Big win-now move.
Huge win-now move to trade away your potential top 5. Now, see, there's a reason why I think there were 6 teams that offered first-round picks to the Dolphins. There's a reason why they picked the Steelers. Because they thought the Redskins were included in one of these teams that offered a first-round pick. They thought the Steelers were going to have a better first-round pick than the Redskins, which means basically what, Adam?
The Steelers are going to tank.
Yeah, the Steelers are going to be worse than the Redskins.
Exactly.
In their evaluating eyes.
Which is tough. which is really tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they thought, which is kind of an insult, but also like the reality of their situation right now. And so they take that. If they think they're worse than Redskins, probably top 5 pick in one of the best drafts and trade it for a cornerback who's great. But, I mean, what the fuck? Like, what is he going to do? I mean, what's he going to do? That's like, you really think, we're going to add this guy and now we're going to win 10 games and make the playoffs? No, we're going to lose and we're going to take our top 5 pick and give it to the Miami Dolphins, and they're going to have a first-round pick or number 1 overall pick and another top 5 pick. Great move by the Dolphins.
Great move by the Dolphins. Was it so? And they robbed the Texans earlier, like a few weeks ago. So are the Dolphins on? They got some real Sixers vibes going. They are collecting picks.
So like, it sucks to be a Dolphins fan right now. I'd kill myself.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's sucked to be a Dolphins fan since 1976.
Yeah, well, so. Yeah, that's true. But like, as a Sixers fan that's gone through, trust the process. You just got it. It's kind of true. You just have to trust it, and the Dolphins are doing it even better than the Sixers did it.
Collecting picks so fast.
Yeah.
High
yeah,
picks.
Not just picks. Like, not only are they themselves doing a phenomenal job of being awful.
Oh, they're so good at that.
Yeah, they're really good at that. But they're also just collected another potential top 5 pick from the Steelers. And if they hadn't done Steelers, they could have done Redskins. I mean, shit, you're picking between like 2 probably top 7 picks guaranteed.
Right. Yeah.
Unless Mason Rudolph comes out and just rains hell. But basically, AFC Championship doesn't look good. But we can stop talking about the Steelers because I don't really want to think about that because they pretty much fucked up, not just this year, but also next year. But what about the Browns? What do you think about... You didn't watch the game last night. Self-admitted that he was asleep before the game.
Yep. Work is hard, people.
But did you see the first game in week 1? Because it didn't look good.
Yes, I was watching that. It didn't look good. And the whole time I was thinking, God, I proclaimed them like the best team in the NFL.
I think you said to the bowl, right?
No.
To the championship. It was something aggressive.
I think I just said I said that they would definitely win the AFC North, and then I said that they would. I think I said they would win a playoff game. I think is what I said.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's no way I thought they were going to the bowl.
Okay. Yeah, because of the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots and the Chiefs are very staunchly in their way.
Alluding to a later topic.
Nice foreshadowing. But yeah, the Browns, I am still saying they are definitely in contention for a playoff spot. I am not convinced that they will lose their first game in the playoffs. I will say Baker does not look as smooth as I thought he was going to look. Their receiving core is still unreal. They're still going to win a lot of games. I'm not worried about that. But my claim of them winning the AFC North is just not going to happen. And I tell you why. Because Lamar freaking Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens have looked like the second best team in football the first 2 weeks of the season.
Wow.
And they have time and again they put points on the board in an instant. It is insane how fast they can score. And Lamar Jackson is proving the doubters wrong. I never really had any strong opinions on Lamar Jackson. I was never saying, he's just a running back. Oh, he's going to make it. I wanted him to make it. He was a star at Louisville. Watching ACC football was a joy with him in the league. And I'm glad to see him dazzling on the biggest stage imaginable. Hollywood Brown is playing far away and beyond his means. He's way better than anybody thought he was going to be. Mark Ingram is shining in the purple and black. And, I think that we're seeing a Ravens team that not only, if Lamar Jackson can keep it together, I know he's a young guy, I think that they have potential to make the AFC Championship game.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Week 3. Ravens at Kansas City.
That is going to be a great game.
I can't wait.
Is that the night game?
No, it's a 1 o'clock game.
It's a 1 o'clock game. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's God help your soul if you are watching NFL football and for whatever reason you don't get that game at 1 o'clock. That would be terrible.
I will give you my DirecTV.
That would be terrible. You have to be in California for that to happen.
I actually won't watch it probably because I'll be watching the Eagles.
Who do they play?
Lions at home. But
it could be a good game. Hopefully not.
Fuck you.
Hopefully it's a bad game. Hopefully the Eagles blow them out. I think they should. But
okay, yeah. Well,
I'm
at Kansas City,
Matt Stafford.
That's got to be game of the year or game of the week.
Hey, could be game of the year. We don't know.
But it's also going to answer a lot of the questions I have remaining for the Ravens.
Right.
And that's
legitimacy.
They played Miami, who we just talked about, who's really good at being bad.
Yeah. They've been outscored
102 to 10. 102 to 10. Pretty sure that's what it is. 59 and y'all dropped 43.
Yeah.
111 to 10.
It was 43 to nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and 59 to 10. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. 102 to 10.
Yep.
That's
I just said it.
That is so bad.
Yep. It's pretty awful. But if you really want that first overall pick, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. You know what's really sad is we all were dreading. I think the entirety of NFL fandom, when the Browns are going 0-16, we all watched their games in agony, thinking, okay, they're up 7 in the fourth quarter. There's 5 minutes left. They can do it. They can win. And miraculously, the Ravens would block a field goal and run it back, and then the Browns would miss a field goal to win it. It would just be the craziest things that happen. But what we're seeing now from the Dolphins is the exact opposite. We're seeing just absolute a shit show from start to finish. From opening whistle to closing whistle, the Miami Dolphins look lost.
I'm here to tell you that don't worry about watching a heartbreaking loss from Miami because almost every one of their games is going to be over in the first quarter.
Absolutely. And here's my question.
The only game that might not be is the Steelers-Dolphins.
I would like to put an over-under, okay? I really do believe that the Dolphins are going full Sixers mode. I think they're collecting picks to build a solid franchise, which is commendable. It's the way of sports now. It's a patience game from the fandom. But I want to hear over-under. How many head coaches are the Miami Dolphins going to go through before they are a 500 team? Because you got to think the Miami loyalists.
They just hired one, right?
Yeah, it's his first 2 games. Outscored 102-10. You got to think. I honest to God, I bet by week 7 or week 8, he's gone.
But you don't think there'll be a Hugh Jackson effect where he went 1-32 in 2 years and they still brought him back the third year? Because it was almost as if we know you're not in any position to win any games because your team's just so bad that we're giving you a pass.
Yeah, you got to think. I mean, it just depends on how loyal the Miami fans are, how much they want to win, which honestly is probably not that high. Miami is a very big city. It's a big market team where loyalty is, they can go down the block and cheer for Jacksonville or go down the block and cheer for Tampa Bay. It's not a huge deal.
I would say
it's a basketball city also.
A lot of Miami is made up of people that aren't from Miami.
True. And it's a baseball community, big time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of massive Cuban population, huge.
The Marlins suck.
Yeah, the Marlins suck too. That's true. And they don't care about winning.
No.
It's been well documented the Miami Marlins just want money. But that's enough about baseball. Good Lord.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm
about to go to
I'm about to go to sleep.
I'd say take 2 to 3. I'd say 3 max.
3 max.
I don't think they'll go through more than 3. Because they have a lot of cap space and they have a lot of picks. And
do we have any? I guess you.
And the Patriots dynasty is,
honest, yeah.
It's
in
at
the last
least
3
at
years.
its end.
Yeah, last 3 years.
So then all of a sudden that division's wide open, and all of a sudden those games aren't hard anymore. I mean,
you can say that, but in my correct opinion, the Bills are the heir to the AFC East throne. So
because of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, baby. Big Josh Allen guy. I'm about to pick him up in fantasy. If you grab him from me, anyone in my league, I'm gonna be upset. I have Drew Brees. He's hurt. So definitely going for Josh Allen here, and hoping to get him. Big Josh Allen guy. He's got a strong arm, man.
That he does. All right. Circling back to the Ravens real quick. They played the Dolphins, who are really bad.
Yeah.
And then they played the Cardinals, who Kyler Murray has impressed me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And he's really impressed me. But it's still, their defense is shot besides Patrick Peterson. And it's impressed me because Kyler Murray's working with no offensive line. And,
two impact players on offense.
Yeah. And Larry Fitz somehow is still an impact player, which is fucking crazy.
Larry Fitz might be, is Larry Fitz a top 10 wide receiver all time? I say yes.
Yeah. He's just fucking he literally he might be a machine.
Father Prime. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so 2 teams that aren't really great. Arizona, I'd be surprised if they got to 6 wins. I'd say, hey, that's a good season. And Miami,
that's a great season for Arizona, yeah.
And if Miami gets to 1, that'd be pretty impressive too. So going into Kansas City in Arrowhead, if they come out and win that game, then I'm right with you.
They're legit.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's very fair. I might jump the gun, but hey, that's jumping the gun. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
I think I really do. Right now, just of what I've seen, I think they're the 3rd best team in the AFC.
And what you've seen, I'd say eye test definitely. First 2 weeks, I don't think there's been there's definitely not been 3 teams above them.
No.
2 teams have been above them, but they hang right with them in their stats, honestly. But Ravens look good. I'm rooting really hard for the Ravens, which is weird to say as a Steelers fan, but because I made a $20 bet with a Browns fan that if the Browns win the division, I pay him $20, and if the Steelers win the division, he pays me $20, thinking that the latter is now kind of not going to happen. I hope the Ravens win the division, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's an interesting division now. It's a pretty shitty division, but.
So, what do you think? Let's go through each conference.
Okay.
What do you think the best 2 teams in each conference are?
I think it's obvious in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. You think it's Patriots and then Chiefs?
Yeah.
The Patriots have been impressive.
They have. The Patriots have played also not 2 great teams, but that's just normal Patriots. They don't really play a tough schedule normally. But anyways, they have looked ridiculous, and they're going to be ridiculous. This might be another chance for them to go 15-1. The one being the Eagles beating them at the Link. But no, they could go 16-0. It's just a ridiculous offense, right? You put Antonio Brown, and people just forget about how good this guy is at football, right? Because of all of his off-the-field shit in the past year. I mean, he's a psychopath, but he's really, really, really good at football.
He's an immediate impact also.
There was, I don't know if it was last year. It was the year before where he just won every game for the Steelers at the end. He'd have great stats, and then it'd be the last drive, and just all right, Antonio Brown's going to catch a ball that gets us in field goal range, or he's going to catch a touchdown.
And it was literally, I remember that, because they would just force feed it. They would say...
And everyone knew it was going to happen, and it didn't matter.
Yeah, it literally didn't. I mean, he and Odell are in the same class, in my opinion. Neither of them are overwhelming physical talents like Julio, but they're guys who have unbelievable hand strength, guys that have unbelievable footwork, and guys that are kind of crazy. So, I think they both possess a lot of the same qualities. But my real note about the Patriots and the time that I've been watching them,
best defense.
I think it is the best roster they have ever had. And I mean, we're talking about teams that had, in my opinion, the greatest wide receiver of all time in Randy Moss. Teams that had when it was the Boston Tea Party, and it was Aaron Hernandez, rest in peace, and Rob Gronkowski, who were literally unstoppable when you were running a 2 tight end set, which is not something that is consistently run in the NFL. And they were doing it better than it's probably ever been done. And now you have a wide receiver core that includes Julian Edelman as the number 2 option, I would guess, and Josh Gordon as the number 3 option. Philip Dorsett, who was, if we all remember, he was the number 2 option on the Colts for the longest time with Andrew Luck, and he was there for some tumultuous times, but he has come up huge for the Patriots. Made some great plays. Week 1 especially. And then let's not forget, on the bench we have Demaryius Thomas, one of the greatest, one of the best wide receivers of the era. Granted, he's not playing at his typical spot, but he is a strong veteran leader who honestly has more seasons under his belt than anyone else on that wide receiver core. And then you look at the defense, and you have arguably the best secondary in the NFL with the McCourty twins and Stephon Gilmore leading the way. Then you have Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower at linebacker. You have a fresh defensive line that accrued 7 sacks. The Patriots had 7 sacks against Miami. I think they had 3 interceptions, 7 sacks. Which, granted, it's Miami. They're not going to put up those stats every week. But we haven't seen Tom Brady surrounded with talent like this. Granted, they're moving a lot of pieces at the offensive line. They're picking up and dropping people daily. Keep up with it. It's insane. I get updates all the time. They're dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive line. But we have something that we've never seen before, which I think the league is terrified of, which is Tom Brady with a top 3 defense and Tom Brady with the best receiving core in the NFL. And I think it's going to be showtime all season. I don't think a team is going to hold them below 28. I don't think they're going to lose a game in their division. And I'm not certain that they'll lose a game this season.
Yeah, all valid points. Honestly, I think they're one of their weaker positions is Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's fair. That's literally a fair assumption or point.
Which is crazy because it's Tom Brady. And this is the reason why last episode when I made the bold prediction of at least 2 more Super Bowls in the next 4 years for the Patriots is not because yes, Tom Brady's great, but it's also because of Bill Belichick, and then it's because of just I don't know. Does Bill Belichick do the GM? Does he do all of that, or do y'all have a GM? I don't know y'all's GM's name, but just the franchise in general of doing things like what they just did. Antonio Brown, no one wants him, right? A bad character guy. All of a sudden, he becomes a free agent immediately, right? Like it's to the Patriots, and that happens a lot. Jamie Collins, they literally trashed this. They traded him away
to the Browns.
He was pissed.
Yeah,
and now he's back.
Now he's back and happy.
Yeah,
and playing at an incredible level.
He talked a bunch of shit about the Patriots when he got traded, and now he's back because he's like, well, you know what? It's a lot better than Cleveland.
Yeah, it is way better than going 0-16.
Holding under 28, maybe so. When you said that, I went through their schedule, and there's one game I looked at that I feel like could challenge, and that's the Ravens. The Ravens' defense is really good in Baltimore, but other than that, I mean, they don't play any good defenses. They just don't. So, like, there's no way they don't hang 28 on every single one of them. So, I think Baltimore's the only chance. I mean, they play the Steelers division. Cleveland's defense is not good. It's okay. It's not really. It gave up 42 to the Titans. I mean, come on. The Steelers' defense is awful. With Minka now, though, watch out.
Yeah.
And then, they played the NFC East, which has 0 good defenses. The Eagles' defense is really bad in the secondary. Great running defense, but we just talked about the best wide receiving core. Should eat up the Eagles secondary.
We didn't even talk about the Patriots running backs, where Sonny Michel and Rex Burkhead are really feasting. Like they're picking up the slack.
Sonny Michel had a tough week 1, but
immediately showed up in week 2. But so did everyone. It was the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's the only thing. The only thing is they've played the Steelers and the Dolphins. The Steelers' defense is awful, which we knew. Like 33 points in the Steelers is surprising, but what's surprising is 3 points with Ben Roethlisberger. That's impressive by the defense of the Patriots. I wish they played they do play the Chiefs. Play the Chiefs late in the season. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I think you're going to have to outscore the Patriots this year.
Absolutely.
You're right. Everything you said is right. It's the best roster Tom Brady's ever had. And that's why it's not crazy. That's why it's really not a bold prediction to say they can win 2 of the next 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we don't know where Antonio Brown has a player option, I think, at the end of the season. You got to think if they win a Super Bowl, he stays.
Yeah.
You got to think that. But then again, it is Antonio Brown, so I can't put myself in his shoes and decide what I can do and what I can't do.
How do you feel about having Antonio Brown on your favorite team?
Honestly, man, and at the end of the day, I'm excited about it. I mean, like, we'll see how these whole allegations go. I think, there's been 2 allegations. One, I think is questionable at best. One is not not a charge at all. It was more of like, I think he did something, but I really, I'm over it. And so we'll see if more come out. We know the nature of these things, that I wouldn't be surprised if one or more women came out again. The thing that surprises me is how, I guess, the civil suit that the first woman made only asked for $75,000, which I think is insane. I mean, obviously, I don't want to get into like the thick of it, but it's very questionable in a sexual assault / rape case to file a civil suit to begin with, and then to only ask for $75,000. If Antonio Brown deserves no sympathy from anyone, he doesn't. But if I'm Antonio Brown and someone says, give me $75,000 and I'll fuck off, I'm a millionaire. Here's $75,000. Please just fuck off.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, it's a weird situation, and I think it's going to develop a lot more as it progresses.
Do you think Antonio Brown planned his...
That is a very interesting concept.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting concept. And like, I'm not even going to lie to you. The first person I saw it didn't even come to my mind until I saw Jared Hall, Riley's roommate, tweet about it. And I like started thinking about it, and then like he immediately got bought up, and then has not said shit since.
Yeah.
Like, no helmet issue. He got dropped by Zenith, but he didn't say anything bad about Zenith. They talked about, like, there was other fines that were talking about being assessed. He didn't say anything about that. It smells fishy. It smells very fishy.
The fishiest thing is that he hired
a social media guy. Yeah.
Yeah, hired a social media consulting firm as like right before the helmet issue.
Right.
My opinion is fuck Antonio Brown, because he's a. I mean, if that was planned or if it wasn't, either way, he's a shitty person. However, he's a really good football player. I don't say fuck Antonio Brown because I think he's a rapist. I have no idea if that's legitimate. There are a lot of holes in that argument. That's not why I don't like Antonio Brown. I think it's shitty the way he worked the system. Shitty what he did to the Raiders.
Shitty what he did to the Steelers and Juju and Ben.
Really shitty what he did to Juju. Really didn't like that. Terrible character guy, but he's really good at football. And so, like, if I'm the Patriots, I don't fault them at all for picking them up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, you want to win football games.
Yeah. And they are no strangers to doing that.
Yeah.
The Patriots do that a lot. And I guarantee you, I've watched the Patriots a lot. If Antonio Brown would have showed up and started causing problems, started trying to put like a notch in the gear, he would have been cut immediately. It was a zero risk move for the Patriots. They had $15 million in cap space. They said, okay, we'll give it to Antonio Brown on a 1-year deal. See if this works out, because he is a top 3 wide receiver.
And the way they structure the contract, it's $15 million guaranteed, but there's a lot of things embedded in the contract where if he fucks up, he loses that guaranteed money.
Right.
Which is honestly how you have to structure a contract with Antonio Brown now, because dude has
he's
proved, whether he's
goods.
planned it or not, he's proved he's kind of a psychopath. I think he's a shitty person, but I mean, best of luck to him in New England. Probably win a Super Bowl, so hopefully he gets his wish.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's a long season, and we're 2 weeks in, and I'm loving it. I've missed football so much.
Yeah, in general, football. I just got back from Atlanta yesterday.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot you did that. How was that?
It was a lot of fun. Watched Sunday Night Football. Atlanta Stadium is sick. If you're gonna
Mercedes-Benz, yeah.
If you're gonna go to a football game in the southern region, go to Mercedes-Benz whenever your favorite football team plays them, because it's. I mean, I've only been to like 5 or so NFL stadiums, but this one was just like shit on every single one. The Panthers Stadium,
that one's old.
The Titans Stadium,
don't know.
Even Heinz Field, even the Link. Like, this is just insane.
Yeah.
Now the atmosphere was obviously not
right,
because the Eagles fan. It was Sunday night game. About half the seats are empty, and about of the seats filled, probably half or more were Eagles fans.
That's tough.
Which sucks for the Falcons. But what's great for the Falcons is they beat us. So that's what I was going to say. It was a lot of fun until we lost.
It was a freak.
But it was
20 miles an hour on that touchdown.
20 miles an hour. He probably could have run 18, still scored.
Yeah.
That was really, I mean, Julio is a beast, but that was just terrible defense. It was a good play call, but yeah, it's just bad. But Nelson Aguilar, did you see that?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see the game at all?
I was asleep for that game, too.
All right, so let me fill you in. You guys probably know 3rd and 2.
The block in the back.
No. 3rd and 2. After Julio scored, right, there's a minute change left. We're driving. We're past midfield. 3rd and 2. Go deep to Nelson Aguilar. Preface this with the reason why Nelson Aguilar was thrown the ball was because in the first quarter, actually in the first 5 plays, our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers got hurt, Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, that one hurt me.
Which sucks because I was at the game and I really liked Deshaun. I really wanted to see Deshaun Jackson play as an Eagles fan. But they got hurt right away. So Nelson Aguilar is our number 1. Down the sideline, no one in front of him. Probably 20-yard line where he would have caught the ball. In stride, dime from Carson Wentz as he's getting hit on 3rd and 2 in crunch time with a minute something left. Just dropped it. Just right in his hands. Just right.
He Ted Ginned it.
Right through his hands.
He Ted Ginned it.
I mean, it's probably the worst drop. If it wasn't week 2, it'd be like if that was a playoff game or a later season game, that'd probably be one of the worst time drops I've ever seen in crunch time like that. That would have been a touchdown. That would. I mean, unless the Falcons came back, even if they got a field goal, it would have been overtime. Anyways, they went for it on 4th and 14, still got it. Ended up losing because they were an inch short on a 3rd down play or a 4th down play at the 15-yard line, which was like a heartbreaking game. But it was it was a lot of fun. It was for Devin's birthday. We were both thoroughly pissed off. You know, we got to talk shit to some Falcons fans that were talking shit to us. So. You know, we hated it, but at least we got had an excuse to be dickheads, so it was good.
Fair.
But yeah, so that's the Eagles. The Eagles need a cornerback. Jalen Ramsey is requested a trade.
Yeah.
Watch the Patriots probably fucking get him.
There's no way they have no assets to get him. But
doesn't matter.
Ramsey to the Eagles, I like it. Right attitude for an Eagles player. There's plenty of assets for the Eagles to drop to get him.
Plenty of assets. We have a lot of assets.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey is a very Eagles guy. Very Eagles guy to get.
Are you trying to talk shit about
No. I love Jalen Ramsey's attitude. I think the Eagles have a good attitude. Like they're an in-your-face football team. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. I'm cool with it. I don't dislike the Eagles at all. But he fits. He fits an Eagles player's mantra.
He wants to go to the Texans.
That's
so
lame.
his tweets say.
The Texans are so lame.
But, I just don't think Jacksonville will ever trade him in the division.
No, why would they?
Yeah, that'd be stupid.
Yeah,
because he likes DeAndre Hopkins. He likes playing against him.
That's so gay. That's so that is that's so lame.
Yeah.
My bad, guys.
We don't really have editing software.
So sorry. That was just gonna stay in there. I'm sorry. If you respect someone's game, keep playing against them.
Yeah,
that's lame. That's super lame.
But I don't think Jacksonville will trade him there. Why not trade him to NFC? We're not going to play them. We played them last year, so we won't play them for another 3 years.
By then, Jalen Ramsey will be bad. So
yeah, or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I think that would help a lot.
Yeah,
with Eagles.
we talked about the best teams in the AFC, which are very clear cut.
NFC,
NFC, best 2 teams. What do you think?
And you agree with me on my 2?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Not even a question.
NFC's a lot tougher. I'd say the Rams.
Rams number 1, you say?
Rams number 1. And then my bias says Eagles number 2. Most people are probably going to say Dallas number 2. I say Eagles number 2. I mean, this is all considering the injuries, right? Drew Brees, the Saints probably would have been in there. Yeah, I'd say it's between those 3 right now for me. But as I fucking hate the Cowboys, so I'm not going to put them number 2.
Yeah, I think the Rams have to be number 1. I'm not convinced. I mean, they would be the 3rd best team in the AFC.
I'm not
question.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. It's just the circumstances right now.
Yeah. I think, teams that we miss out on, I think Green Bay has very solid Super Bowl hopes. I think that the 49ers, though we haven't seen them against really good talent yet.
So
we haven't seen them on a great field, so I'm scared to put them at the number 2 spot. And unfortunately for everyone in America, the Cowboys might be the 2nd best team in the division.
Is that your number 2?
I think right now I'm gonna have to say yeah. I think the Eagles are the only real competition in the division. Even if they split that, they have a very good chance of winning that division. And we'll just see how Dak and Zeke can play. They have a solid defense, steady offense. There's nothing about them that I say, wow, this is a huge hole. I think that I think that they're a very classic Cowboys team, very Tony Romo Cowboys-esque team, and we'll see. I hope they suck. I would love it if they lost the last 14 games of the season, because this is just the Cowboys, man.
And so I've heard the Cowboys hype. I think they're a good team. I think just it's week 2, and almost a lot of teams, it's been the theme, a lot of teams have played just shitty teams so far.
That's true.
The Giants and the Redskins are just not good teams. They're just not. And they gave up 17 points and 21 points to the Redskins. The Redskins played with them the majority of the game. It's not a bad thing. The Redskins played with the Eagles the majority of the game. The Redskins aren't as bad as everyone's saying. They're
better than the Steelers, apparently, if you ask Miami.
But those are 2 bad teams. And guess who they play next week? Miami.
Yep.
Right,
pick them in my pool.
Wait until
go boys for this week.
Wait until next week when they beat the shit out of Miami. Then everybody's going to be on it.
Everyone's going to be on it. Yeah.
And then they play the Drew Breesless Saints.
Yeah, they'll probably start 4-0, but then you get Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. Green Bay's defense has been good.
Yeah. There's some very exciting games on the horizon. Riley, what's your take on the Eli Manning, Daniel Jones situation? I know I want to make sure that in this on the podcast I have expressed my respect for Daniel Jones. I did say that last podcast, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So Daniel Jones, I'm telling you, I'm not saying he's going to come out and kill it, but when you see other backups come out, like Teddy Bridgewater, unfortunately, big Teddy fan, was upset at how poorly he played when he came into the game last week. You see guys like was it Seaman from the Jets came out, shit the bed.
I mean, come on, man. He fucking compound fractured his ankle.
Then the other guy came out and shit the bed. Waited for Le'Veon to carry him. You see young guys come out all the time. I'd like to see Daniel Jones come out, sling the thing around to Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard. I think we're going to see an improvement at QB1 spot going from Eli Manning to Daniel Jones.
First of all, I'd hope so, if you're a Giants fan. But second of all, they're giving them the opportunity because they're playing.
Yeah, I respect that also.
The Bucks and the Redskins. So I feel like they had this kind of planned from the start, which is smart by the Giants. All right, we got Dallas first. They're pretty good. We'll keep Eli in there. Buffalo could be all right. We'll see how Eli does. And then after that, we can plug in Daniel Jones, get him some confidence games, and then also get the fans to think whether, get some hype around him.
Right.
Of course, if he comes out and does really bad against the Bucks and Redskins, then it kind of backfires. Damn, this guy can't even win against the fucking Bucks. But no, I hope he does well, I guess. I mean, he is a dookie. I don't like the Giants. Eli's always been overrated. Great guy, but he shouldn't be in the league after his past year and a half. I mean, when McAdoo benched him, he honestly was kind of right. McAdoo's just an idiot, so no one believed him. Just look at the fucking guy.
Well, look at Eli Manning.
And then Daniel Jones literally looks just like Eli Manning. So
a younger Super Bowl bound Eli Manning.
Wow. Pump the brakes.
Yeah. I mean, hey, every year that division changes, the landscape of the NFC East changes.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, New York is a destination city with a lot of cap space. We could see some big arrivals on the horizon. Who knows? I hope not. Again, don't like the Giants, but I've been pretty heavily on Daniel Jones. So I'm gonna be happy if he does well because that's my bet.
So you got Rams and you got Dallas. That's your 1 and 2.
Yeah, but Dallas is gonna slide out of there so fast. By week 5, Green Bay is gonna be in there. But right now, Dallas is the second best team in the league, or in the NFC.
Aaron Rodgers has a good defense for the
Notable.
first time since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, worst receiving core he's ever had though.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams good though.
Yeah, he is good. But what's their number 2 back or number 2 Valdez Scanting maybe?
Or Allison.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
And if Jimmy Graham does not catch a pass this week, I'm going to go to Wisconsin by myself, and we're going to have a sit-down talking to because he and Alshon Jeffrey cost me a game in fantasy this week.
Alshon got hurt.
Toughen up.
That's what I was feeling like. I was at the game. Alshon was just sitting on the sideline. I was like, get fucking in the
game. Stop drinking water and get in there. But seriously, how is your fantasy going all right?
So I have 4 leagues, which is too many.
Way too many.
Yep.
Too many.
But, yep. I'm 6 and 2 so far in 2 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I went 4-0 the first week, 2 and 2 last week. You know who I want to kill? Jameis Winston. Not because I own him, but because I have Mike Evans.
Oh, yeah. Tell that to O.J. Howard owners.
Oh,
bro.
I also have O.J. Howard in the same league.
Oh, my
which
gosh.
I might fucking cut. Yeah, that was one of the games I lost. It was Brad Boys, actually. Yeah. I had a really good week 1, despite their poor performances, because the rest of my team went off. The rest of my team did pretty well this week, but 0 and 8.1 for Mike Evans, who I paid much more than what is required for an 8.1. Doesn't help your doesn't help your team.
Yeah.
So fuck Jameis Winston because he's so bad.
He is very bad. Very bad.
So bad. I miss Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah, at least he could throw deep bombs. He wouldn't study anything, and he would throw 8 picks. But good Lord, if he wouldn't just sling that thing for Mike Evans.
If you had a receiver on Fitzpatrick's teams, the balls are just coming. Because, all he did was sling it 40 times a game.
I mean, hey.
The targets were always there.
My fantasy team's doing all right.
Yeah, how's your team
Started off, I have two teams. Started off 2-0, or,
So you're 4-0?
No, won both leagues week 1. Blew both my competition out of the water in week 1.
Nice.
Week 2 was tumultuous. I've used that word a lot today. I think it must have been on the dictionary app recently. I like the word.
Good word.
1 week I lost, or this week lost one by 3 points with Jimmy Graham catching a whopping 0 passes, Alshon Jeffrey laying an egg. So I got 2 guys put up 0, lost by 3. Bodes well for my team as a whole. It really is so frustrating, though, to say if Jimmy Graham would have caught one pass for 15 yards.
Alshon Jeffrey got hurt in the second play of the game.
Yeah. And, you can't fault for that. Stuff like that happens. But come on, Jimmy. Catch the ball, Jimmy.
And it's if Alshon Jeffrey could have just got hurt on the 20th play of the game.
Right. Because he would have gotten a catch.
Yeah.
I just needed 1 catch for 25 yards, which is Alshon special.
Yeah. Alshon had a great week 1.
Yeah, he did.
Probably part of the reason.
I thought about benching him for Larry Fitz. Didn't. Regretted it. And then in my other league, I was down 58 going into Monday night and pulled it out.
With Le'Veon and who?
I had Le'Veon, Odell, and the Cleveland defense. Ended up winning comfortably.
Yeah.
I woke up. I went to sleep before the game started on Monday night saying, 1-1 in both leagues. Well, we'll look back at it. Oh, I had Drew Brees. That's why it was so close. I had Drew Brees in that league. So he got me -1, and then his hand fell off.
Impressive, still winning.
Yeah, and came back and woke up very happy.
So you're 2-0 and 1-1.
Yeah, 2-0 and 1-1.
2-0, 2-0, 1-1, 1-1. So pretty much the same thing, just double.
Yep.
Can we talk about real quick to finish off how awful the Carolina's play call was the end of Thursday night against the Bucks? Carolina Panthers. Did you see it? Maybe you didn't see it, but they lost to the Bucks. Remember how they lost to the Bucks?
Yeah.
It was 4th and 1, and they have what's their quarterback's name again?
Cameron
Cameron
Newton.
Newton, yeah.
Big Newton.
Is he a small guy or big guy or
Pretty. I think he's like average sized.
Oh, okay, yeah. 6'5", 250, pretty average,
yeah.
right?
He looks about like me. Yeah.
So you think he could get a yard? Probably not, right?
Yeah,
Probably
I mean,
not. No.
he does have crazy leaping ability.
No.
Is known for his athleticism and strength running the ball, but
No. So they had the same thinking, right? Like that's just dumb.
it's really stupid.
Yep. So they decided to go wildcat to Christian McCaffrey out of the shotgun, direct snap,
1 yard line shotgun.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, actually, they were on the 2, but they needed a 1 to get the first down.
I see.
And direct to McCaffrey. They just decided to fake the Philly special.
Oh, nice.
So he faked the toss to like someone crumbing, went all the way outside and got tackled out of bounds for no gain.
I did see that.
And lost.
Yep. You know, sometimes, ask Pete Carroll, sometimes the obvious play is the best play. Because it's Cam Newton, guys. Granted, you know, he is kind of falling off the wagon a little bit.
But the dude is still 6'5".
He's still 6'5". I mean, Marshawn Lynch was nowhere near his prime
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he's still Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
You know? Just big-time players, man.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, like, it's just like Cam Newton can just fall. He's huge.
Yeah. Literally, he does the jump. Remember when he dunked on Atlanta last year or 2 years ago? He literally just jumped over and, like, slammed it on the linebacker's head.
Yeah, it's hilarious because I don't really like the Panthers, so it's
I
pretty.
like the Panthers. I want them to do well because they're the hometown team, you know?
Yeah, great.
But
I don't like their fans.
that's fair. Well, I mean, there are a lot of bandwagon fans, but fair weather fans.
No,
but
not that I
that's
don't
'cause
like
we
their
live in
fans.
North
I don't
Carolina.
like their just like they don't have the passion. Most of them don't have the passion. Some of them have great.
Well, it's a young franchise. It'll get there. Anywho,
Yep.
I think I want the Carolina Panthers to be our last topic, if that, unless you have something else
I
to
don't
talk
have
about.
anything else.
Okay, so let's talk about the Panthers for a second.
Okay.
I had this debate today, literally today, about Cam Newton,
Okay.
and we were comparing him to another famous quarterback who made a living off of his legs by the name of Michael Vick. And we were comparing them. Who's better? My argument heavily was Michael Vick.
Okay. Good. I was about to have a problem.
And granted, Cam Newton kind of owns a lot of the stats in the argument, which as a LeBron guy, I'll say that I use the stats a lot there to make that argument.
Okay.
And when people say Michael Jordan wins the eye test, I'm like, fuck the eye test. But when you watch film of Michael Vick and you watch film of Cam Newton, like they're polar opposites. And here's my main thing. And I'll bring it around to my point on the Carolina Panthers. The difference between Michael Vick and Cam Newton is you can contain Michael Vick all game, and he will still tear you apart with his arm.
Yep.
Without his legs, he is still an above average quarterback, still a top 10 quarterback, just passing the ball as a pocket passer.
Yeah.
You take Cam Newton's legs away, and you've taken maybe 60% of his game away. And what Carolina has gotten themselves in the hole of is they have a banged up quarterback who they're scared to run with.
And I wonder if I was going to say back to that play. I wonder if it was really he's that banged up that we can't even QB sneak it with.
Right. They've put a guy in the backfield who is more than neutralized by keeping him in the pocket. And rather than, saying, let's bench this guy, Let's let him rest because we all have seen Super Cam. We all saw 2015 Cam Newton that was the MVP of the league, that was slinging the ball everywhere, that was running over guys, that was doing, the craziest stuff that we've seen a quarterback do since Michael Vick. And rather than bench that guy, let Will Grier come in, go 2-14, get a good draft pick, have your guy healthy. You're about to have, or in the midst of seeing another Andrew Luck situation play out. And it's a shame to see Carolina wasting talent like that, but that's exactly what they're doing. And not only are they wasting talent, they're wasting talent in mediocrity because they're sitting there on the cusp of nothing, going to be like the Charlotte Hornets, same city. They're going to be sitting on the edge of the playoffs, not getting in, looking in from the outside in with a terrible draft pick and nothing to show for it besides another year of a superstar wasted. And eventually, basketball and football are different. Kemba can get traded. Kemba can walk away. This is the National Football League where quarterbacks don't choose where they go. Quarterbacks get drafted, and they, more times than not, stay in that city for the rest of their career. I think we are seeing the downfall of Cam Newton, and with it, the downfall of the Carolina Panthers until somebody else comes along who's as good. And that doesn't happen every year. That happens every 5 years that you see somebody like that come.
Especially if you're sitting in the spot you just alluded to, because if they do come along,
you can't get them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Unless you get Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Which you should.
The other sad part about the Panthers is they overused a guy, just like they overused a guy like Andrew Luck got overused in Indianapolis. They overused him with not enough protection around him and not enough players around him to take some of the pressure off. I think the same thing is happening to another person in that offense, and that's Christian McCaffrey. It's the beginning of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the beginning of it. So right now, just like Andrew Luck and Cam Newton seem like they're invincible.
They're overpowering it. Yeah, it's no problem. Where are we going to be in 3 years?
Yeah,
we're going to
especially at a running back position.
Absolutely. I
mean, quarterback position's bad. You get hit, but like running back position, no matter what, you're hit on every single.
The average
play.
running back career is 3 years long.
And this guy's getting the touches that an average running back historically. He has to have at least
1.5 times that.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like they don't learn.
It is just such poor roster management. I get it. The Carolina is on the tail end of a Super Bowl roster. I guess it seems like their front office feels as though they should be in contention. And granted, they're sitting in a NFC South division that really has no clear front runner.
Wide open.
And it is impossibly hard to sit there and assess it and say, why don't we keep our stars healthy until we, or just get them healthy before we make a run at it? Because let's be honest, outside of Tampa Bay, New Orleans and Atlanta are sitting in the same exact spots that Carolina are when it comes to not making the playoffs and sitting there with a subpar draft pick. And they've been sitting there for a while. The Saints, granted,
the Saints are a little different because
they're going to be there this year. They might be there,
but this year, but only really
because Drew Brees is hurt. Yeah, exactly. And before this year, you know what? You're right. The Saints were the clear favorite for the NFC South, and they were last year, head and shoulders above everyone else in the NFC South. And yet they're fielding Cam Newton hurt, and they're force feeding Christian McCaffrey at least 1.5 times what he should be getting. And so not only are you killing a guy, you're beating a dead horse to death, and Cam Newton, and you're slowly killing a horse in Christian McCaffrey, and then we're gonna watch them beat him.
Yep, it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah. It's shame.
It's just a young Cam Newton at a different position, at a worse position.
Yeah, a more demanding position.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, Cam Newton, in my book, is washed. Christian McCaffrey is going to have 2 more great seasons, and then he'll be washed. And the Panthers are going to be back to, let's say, 2004 Panthers to 2010 Panthers, where they were just irrelevant. We are not far from irrelevant Panthers.
Yep. If they can build it back up in 5 years, though, great.
Yeah, it'd be impressive.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen.
No, not with the
unless they get Jalen Hurts. And then they can use him for 5 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, that won't they treat him just like Cam Newton? He's literally a clone.
Yeah, just learn, guys. Just learn. Like, mistakes happen. But don't let them happen twice.
Fool me once.
Exactly right.
Fool me twice.
Fool me 3 times.
Load the chopper.
J. Cole, shout out Dreamville.
Yep.
Little known fact, the Sports and Stuff crew, a.k.a. me and Riley, are being recruited by Dreamville. We're going to sign. We'll get some hoodies made. It'll be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Dennis Smith will be on the next episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
It's kind of like their trial with us.
Yeah. Yeah, because, see, J. Cole has asked multiple times to be on the episode.
Yeah.
But we just feel like since he's not an athlete, since he missed that dunk in the All-Star game.
That was tough.
Yeah. We just felt like, hey, Jay, we just kind of got to wait on it.
Yeah.
He understands. He's actually here right now. He's not allowed to talk.
Shh. Shut the fuck up, J. Cole.
Just kidding. I love you, J. Cole.
Well, that wraps it up. I think we'll try to get another one out next week. Busy week. I'm headed to Virginia this weekend. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Just gonna go see my buddy Neil. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. Neil?
Yeah. Big Neil guy.
Beat me in the...
Yeah, he did beat you at Brad Boys.
Yeah.
You got anything going on this week? Anything big?
Hopefully UNC rebounds from...
Yeah, big game. App State.
Yeah. App's good.
App is good.
Yeah.
We'll see. As long as we stay undefeated in conference, which we are, by the way.
Yeah, because Wake doesn't count as
1-0, baby.
I just want them to win this game so that the Clemson game can be
more exciting.
Yeah, and possibly get another night slot.
Oh, true, yeah. Night game was fun. Well, guys, it was a fun one. Yeah. Again, if you don't follow us on Twitter at SP0RTS, the letter N and the word stuff. That's Sports and Stuff on Twitter. And we'll see you next time.